Good afternoon. I think it's afternoon. I've been up since 4, been out the door since 8. Had my meeting this morning with the continuing education department. It went well. It went very well. It seems to be very promising. I'll know more by July, which is what, next week? Just kind of randomly checking in here on Friday, the 26th. You know, this piece of hair is going to drive me crazy. Just needs to grow. How are you? How was your week? Mine was My check was absolutely ridiculous. Comparing last year at this time versus this year, this week's check for 2 weeks was for $637 versus last year this time was for $1,300. So please tell me, how bad is the economy? Come here, Nellie. Come here now. No bark. But how was your week? Now they're all going to bark. Someone's walking their dogs. How was your week? Come here, Shug. Come over here. Come over here. Get in. Go in the crate. Go in the crate. Go in the crate. Go. Nope. Takes care of that. She's in a crate. Anyway, how was your week? Oh, get comfortable. What was your spark this week? Do you have a spark? Usually I ask what was the highlight, what was the glimmer. What's the spark? Do you have a spark? Nellie doesn't have a spark. She's been a little cantankerous this week. She bit me. You want to see where she bit me? Only because Lola was biting her. But I got to show you this. Don't mind. See if I can do this without. But look, she bit me. She didn't break the skin, but she got me good. She tried to bite me on that side too, but that side didn't bruise, just that side. She's been a little cantankerous this week. She tried to go over the fence, and Lola's like the one that shepherds over everybody. Lola's more of my boxer. And grabbed Shug by her back leg and pulled her off the fence. I grabbed onto Shug's halter because sometimes I have to tether her in the yard, and Shug turned around and bit me, which she never does. It's been a week here in the shoebox, in life. The spark, my spark, I actually saw a moment, a glimmer of it this morning when I was meeting with the continuing education department, talking about the classes that I possibly will be teaching, but the odds are I won't be teaching it till mid-January. So that means I have to maintain between now and then and hope something else comes along. And if it's all a go, I can teach my classes Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on the Merrimack campus. Do you know how that makes me feel? Accomplished. Still waiting for that second article to come out through Voyage magazine. It should be out real soon. But your spark, where's your spark? Do you have it? Did it go out? Did it dim? We're getting ready to go into Mercury retrograde Monday. We're in the shadow parts of it now, the pre-shadow. You know, be careful, reflect, re-examine, all the re's, you know, reorganize, reorder, reconnect, all those things. And why most people really fear a retrograde, remember, all planets go backwards at some point in life. And you yourself will examine your world, and you might want to backtrack. You might want to re-examine some steps and kind of backtrack in the way that you've done things. Maybe you don't. It's up to you, really. Nobody says you have to go backwards. But oftentimes, in order to go forward, you need to stop and look at where you are, what you may have caused or what you may have not caused, but been a part of, and then you retreated. So, where's your spark? Do you have it? Have you found any joy in your life up to now, this far? Change the subject here a hot minute, because I'll tell you, when I was talking to the administrators in the department, they were mulling over different classes that they were looking for and different instructors and things like that. And I said, can I teach people to fish? And she said, oh my God, that would be great. She said, let us get us through, this and see where it's going, if it's going to be a go. She said, but that is a great possibility far down the line. She said, we had somebody with Missouri Conservation, and they retired, they backed out, they didn't want to do it. She said, and we have not been able to find anybody who could, facilitate, that's the word I'm looking for, facilitate taking people fishing, showing them how to bait a hook, how to, thread your rod and reel, those things I can do. But I have to show you, I went to Bass Pro the other day, like I told you I was going to. It was like I couldn't get out of work quick enough on Tuesday to make a beeline to Bass Pro. And I love it. I always say I'm old. The oldies that are like the Walmart greeters that kind of are at the front door and they walk around the store and they're like, little lady, can we help you? I said, just point me to the fishing. Just give me the fishing. I'm looking for a particular brand. I get over there. I'm walking up and down the aisles. I'm familiar with fishing equipment. It's nothing new to me. I grew up with a fishing pole in my hand, I think at the age of 2. I say, I'm looking for the She Fish brand. Just point me in that direction. Nice guy. He says, we're out of it. He said, it flew off the shelves. It's on a back order. I'm like, a back order for sparkly fishing gear? Who would have thought? I'm watching my dogs. They're chasing a cat. Girls, get in here. I said, well, can I order? Can I go online? Can I order what I'm looking for? He says, no, you can't. You can't order it from their website because it will send you right to the distributor, and we're the only distributor. I'm like, that is insane. He said, yeah, it's been on a back order, and we were supposed to get a new shipment in June. He said, and here we're the end of June, and none of our stores have it. You can look up the website, shefish.com. It's just rods and reels and backpacks and glitter and sparkly and pretty pink and purple and rose gold fishing equipment. And I say, well, then just tell me, what is the cost? What am I looking at? Because I was looking, my birthday's around the corner. I was looking to add a new pink rod and reel to the 2 that I already have. And he says, well, the open face, which is the one that doesn't have the cover on it with the button, it has the flip and it's open, the spin rod. I can't even tell you what the real names of it are. Because normally I get like a Zebco 404 and I'm a happy girl. I don't care. Just let me sit bankside. Give me a Diet Dr. Pepper, some chili cheese Fritos. Let me be in my favorite pair of overalls with my swimming suit underneath it. And give me some really, really good night crawlers. That's my go-to. He says, an open face, pink, sparkly, She Fish brand, started at $169. I was like, oh my God. I go, really? He goes, oh, and that's on the lower side. I'm like, lower side of what? $169 for a rod and reel just because it's pink and sparkly? I was like, wow, wow. He said, let me check one of the other stores. Let me see what we have in our warehouse. He said, and he's looking, real nice guy. You know, all of them at Bass Pro. I think they get a big kick out of when women come in there and they're like, I know what I want, I'm going to go get it. So anyway, he said, yeah, there's a rose gold open face, $169 in the warehouse, but you'd have to order it right now and have it, you know, brought into the store or shipped to your house. I'm like, first of all, I don't have $169 to spend on a rod and reel, and especially since looking at my check this morning, $637. So anyway, I'm like, no, I go, I'll just hold off, and I figure I'll go to Walmart, and I'll see what Walmart has. Because usually Walmart has something pink and sparkly, and I'm all right with it. $50. I don't want to spend any more than $50. And right now I can't even spend that $50. Made the house payment. So I'm like, okay, I'm looking for a spin bait, little rubber wormy thing that's got a split tail. It's black, it's yellow. My dad had them. We call it shout bait. My grandkids love it. Dad used to get it at Grandpa Pigeon's. If you know, you know. Or you could go over to Central Hardware. Even Central Hardware had a fishing department. So anyway, the guy says, let me see your picture, because I told him I had a picture. Here's my proof. Here's my proof. I went to Bass Pro. I was like looking at boats. I was looking at clothes. I was looking at bows and arrows. Is that what they're called, bows and arrows? I think they're called something else. I didn't spend very much, only because I didn't get all that I wanted. What did I spend? $18. I felt it was well deserved after the week I had. I was trying to find sparkle of any kind. Anyway, beetle spin. That's what it's called. My sister had one. And eBay has them, but I'm not paying $9 and $10 and $12 for something that I might possibly lose when I go with my first, cast. Anyway, so I got this beetle spin. The guy said these are great if you're fishing at night. I don't know if I'm going to be fishing at night unless I go somewhere. But I got that. He said, cast it out, let it drop a little bit, bop it up and down in the water. He said, and the fish will bite. Then, these are the ones that I was looking for. It's a little smaller. No, I take that back. It's a little larger than the ones that my dad used. And it doesn't have a split tail, I don't think. And I don't care about the spinny part. It was this that I was looking for. So I bought 2 of those, and I bought 1 of those. He said, try this. What is this called? A slab runner. He said, you run it on the top of the water. I'm like, I'll try anything. Then, my one friend, who's a professional fisherman, I've known him for years. He's actually my cousin and my sister's friend. He ended up being one of my really, really good customers, and we stayed in touch. He had my youngest work with him in his landscaping business. Nice guy. Married, so on and so forth. Calls and says, what are you looking for a beetle spin for? He says, what the hell are you doing? I said, well, I'm going to try to go, get out of my house, try to make myself do something, try to find my spark. Magically, without being struck by lightning, because it's been raining cats and dogs here in St. Louis. I said, I'm just trying to find a little joy. That's all I want to do. Sit bankside somewhere, thinking maybe tomorrow morning, if the rain holds off, if I can get up early. I am not a morning person. That's the problem. I can wake up early, but I got to have a pot of coffee before I even decide to get in the shower. I said, I might run over to some park and just try to see. Just, the movement, be outdoors, be by water, anything and everything to get the spark back. He says, call Dunn's in Peevely. I'm like, Dunn's? He said, Dunn's Sporting Goods. He said, and then call Dick's Sporting Goods. He said, and just see what they have as far as a beetle spin. Now, I did look on Amazon, and Amazon had something similar to this. But I promise you, my dad swore by these. So, I have to backtrack a little bit, and then I'll finish the story. No, I'll finish the story, and then I'll tell you another story. So anyway, he says, go get yourself some 10-inch yellow rubber worms, the brand Berkeley, and learn how to do a Texas rig. And I'm thinking, I think I know how to do a Texas rig. I think I do. I'll have to look it up to make sure. He says, instead of going to the park, go over to Chipaway. He said you might have to pay $10, $12, pay like to go fishing. He said, but they stock that thing, and then fish reproduce. I'm like, I could do that. It's not that far. It's on the other side of Arnold. Hop, skip, and a jump if it's going to bring my spark back. So we talked and got caught up with everything. So I'm like, I'm good to go. Okay, so here's the dilemma. My birthday is in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. I'll be 65. Still can't wrap my head around 65. I don't need a fishing license at 65. 2 more weeks. Do I chance it and go fishing without a fishing license? I have my fishing license from 2 years ago. I didn't even go fishing. I didn't do anything last year. Last year was a bust all the way across the board. I worked and worked and worked and worked and worked, came home, got sick, worked, threw my back out 3 or 4 times last year, worked, and came home and did nothing. Worked in the yard, messed with the dogs. So I'm like, do I want to chance it? 2 weeks. What's the citation? Are they really going to say, ma'am, you don't have your fishing license, you need a fishing license? Yeah, but sir, in 2 weeks I'm going to be 65 and I don't need one. Now, do I mind adding to Missouri Conservation their funds? No, I do not. In fact, when my dad died, in lieu of flowers, I had people send donations to Missouri Conservation. And I can't tell you now how much money was donated in my dad's name. But that's my goal. That is my goal. I'm going to go fishing. I think that may bring my spark back. Because right now I'm not a happy girl. Had my spark this morning talking about classes and talking about living life out loud and, promoting art and color theory and all those things. And the women, lovely women who I were meeting with, they listened intently. The one gal, she said, God, I want to take that class. Take it. You'll love it. You will love it. So anyway, back to Bass Pro. They got that big fish tank. Now I'm standing there like a kid in a candy store looking at the fish. They had a sturgeon that came right up. God, them things are ugly looking. Prehistoric ugly looking. The white catfish that they said was in there, apparently, when they were doing fishing demos, I don't know how they do that, they caught it, and they took it out. Or maybe it died. I don't know, but the white catfish wasn't in there. They had the black crappie that were in there. Oh my God, those things are beautiful. Just beautiful. If you go to Artilla Cove, where I like to stay at Table Rock, and you go hang out at the boat ramp, don't slip because of the slime. The crappie, the black crappie that hang out there, don't mind the snakes also that live under that ramp. But oh my God. So anyway, in the fish tank, I'm watching them swim, and I'm like, oh, this makes me happy. I could hear my dad in the back of my head, Well, there's a young guy there, probably his mid-later 30s, with his 2 little kids. I cannot go anywhere where there is not some little kid coming up to me trying to make a conversation with me. And I giggle. Because if you would see me at my job, I don't like kids. Kids have no business sometimes being out. But these 2 little ones, they were as cute as can be. And I forget what the little one told me her name was a couple weeks ago when I was walking over at Burn Park in Webster Groves. One little girl came up to me on the trail and said, "Hi, my name's Avery. What's your name?" And I'm like, "Where is your parent, child?" The dad was behind, and he laughed. He said, "Not everybody wants to know who you are." And her, I'm like, "Well, hello, Avery. How was your day? What have you seen?" You know, and I'm making small talk, and she's giggling. She's like, "Well, what's your name?" So the dad's standing there, you know, humoring the both of us. So, back to the Bass Pro, this little girl, she says, "Look at these fish and how they swim." I said, "I know, isn't it amazing?" I go, "They're just the most beautiful creatures on the planet." I said, "Although dogs and cats and giraffes and elephants are real nice too." I go, "But there's something so special and magical about fish." She says, "I know." She says, "Do you know what was she asking me for?" Oh, she said, "Is there a shark in there?" I said, "No, I don't think there's a shark in there." I said, "Those waters won't take care of a shark." She said, "Do you see any other catfish?" I said, "Yeah, they would be way at the bottom." I go, "They like to stay at the bottom. They don't like to stay at the top." And then that sturgeon kept coming up, and the black crappie. There were some walleye. There were maybe a couple sunfish. I always get sunfish and bluegill all mixed up. Apples, oranges, they're fish. So anyway, her little brother, who maybe is 15 months, he comes up and he's showing me, he's pointing to all the fish. And the dad's just standing to the side kind of watching, laughing. You know, I guess kids can make a friend with anybody, and depending on what my mood is, so can I. So anyway, I say to the little girl, I say to the little boy, "Does your daddy take you fishing?" And I about fell over. She said, "Sometimes, but not often enough." I thought I was going to just fall over, and the dad busted out laughing. He said, "Yeah, we don't fish like we used to." And I said, looking at all this fish, I said, "I got my lures. I'm going to go cash out." I said, I just want to quit my job. I just want to pack up my car. I just want to run to Table Rock, and I just want to stay there for a very long duration. It is what will bring this spark back. So I'm asking you, what have you gone out to buy this week that's going to bring your spark back? Who have you come in contact with that has made you giggle? That has just made you have one little glimmer with your miserable life? And what is it that you can do, short of quitting your job, getting in your car, and going miles and miles away, to try to find just something that is just going to change your whole trajectory of life? Hold on a minute. What are you doing over there? Lay down. Oh, that Frances, she's a burrower. She like turns around, scoots everything underneath her like she's got a little nest. But what is it? What can you do to get your spark back? What is it going to take? Will it be as simple as a lure? I had to buy some black licorice when I was there. You know, when I was at Menards a couple weeks ago buying more plants, go figure. They have that whole big candy section. Orange slices and black licorice are my go-to, although I really wanted some saltwater taffy. And I had made fudge because I told you I had Branson in my mind and wasn't about to pay $24 for an ounce of fudge when I could make 2 pounds of it for $15. So I bought black licorice along with my beetle spin because it makes me happy. It just makes me happy, and it is the simple things right now. And if you examine your own life and what you have done away with, even if it's bare minimum, why? Why would you have done that? Bare minimum says you're just tolerating what is here. The less that you need for anything, you're just functioning, you're just going through the motions, you're just tolerating and putting up with. Bare minimum is almost next to zero. So, you know, maybe go out and get yourself something comparable to this. Let's up that bare minimum to mid minimum. Get out your rod and reel. Get out your favorite pair of overalls. Go get your favorite little snack. Get your Diet Dr. Pepper or your favorite can of beer and go sit yourself bankside and just stare and watch the water. There's something healing about water. Being in nature, walking. You don't know possibly who's going to come up and strike a conversation with you. You know, somebody's going to want to know something. There's some valuable information that you can give to somebody. And you never know who can help you get your spark back. But I loved going to Bass Pro the other day. Oh, there were some beauty boats. Woohoo! Them boats were pretty. I don't think I could drive a boat. I have a hard enough time driving that Jeep. And this morning I had to drive in the rain on 270 going north at McKelvey Road. Wasn't happy with that at all. I'm like, I can't even remember the last time I was on 270. But trying to get my spark back. It's important. It's so important. It makes life work when you have just those minimal little glimmers of joy. And I would love to know what yours is. I would love to know what's it going to take to get your spark back. It's so important. Does a body good? Does your soul really well? But I want to hear. Send me an email, kitrynmarie@gmail.com, when I know more about this teaching opportunity that makes me all happy and full of joy and things to look forward to. I'll keep you posted on all of that. But I am Kitryn Marie. I'm an artist, writer, speaker, life and a business coach. Published author When He Had Her, available on Amazon, working on my second book, waiting on my second article to come out with St. Louis Voyage magazine. Teach a variety of art and communication classes, a storyteller at best. But I'm telling you, go get yourself some shout bait. It's my maiden name, Shout, S-H-O-U-P. Shout bait. Dad swore by it. For today, for tomorrow, be happy, be blessed, be thankful for everything. Remember, fate turns on a dime, and it is up to you to decide what side of the coin you want to be on. If you're interested in any of my classes, anything that I have going on, any tidbits you want to share, tips on fishing, I would love, love to hear from you. I do need to go buy some more weights, though. So I think when I stop at the Walmart, I will get some more weights. I will look for those 10-inch yellow rubber Berkeley worms. Say that 50 times. But y'all take care, and I'll see you real soon. Enjoy your day. Stay dry if it is raining. Take care. Bye.